A jury is now seated. Harvey Weinstein goes on trial for the third time on Tuesday. We have the full breakdown. This is True Crime Today. Coming up, after 4 days of jury selection, a panel is finally seated in Harvey Weinstein's third criminal trial in New York. Opening statements begin Tuesday. Plus, the David murder case is waiting on a charging decision from prosecutors. And new testimony shakes the family trap murder trial in Utah. And in today's Deep Look, the man convicted of shooting and killing a New York City police officer will be sentenced in 9 days. What will Guy Rivera face? I'm Morgan Voss. This is True Crime Today. Harvey Weinstein, third rape trial. This week, after 4 exhausting days in a Manhattan courtroom, a jury is seated in Harvey Weinstein's third criminal trial. 7 men and 5 women will decide whether the former Hollywood producer raped hairstylist and actor Jessica Mann in a Manhattan hotel room in 2013. This is the third time this specific charge has gone before a jury. It is worth taking a moment to explain why. In 2020, Weinstein was convicted of rape and sexual assault in a case involving 2 women. That conviction was later overturned by New York's highest court. The court found a procedural error in how testimony from additional accusers had been admitted. A retrial began in 2025. Jurors convicted Weinstein on charges involving 1 accuser. But on the Mann rape charge specifically, the jury could not agree. They deadlocked. So here we are in April 2026. A single count, 1 accuser, a new jury. Jessica Mann has testified in prior trials that she had a complicated relationship with Weinstein. She has described it as non-consensual from the start. She has said that during a 2013 hotel room encounter, she told him she did not want to do it. She has testified that he did not stop. Weinstein has pleaded not guilty. His attorneys have maintained the encounters were consensual. Before jury selection began this month, prosecutors revealed a new piece of evidence. They say Weinstein told a court officer during his 2020 conviction that if the officer had seen these women, he would have done the same thing. Prosecutors plan to use that remark at trial. Weinstein, now 73, has been in poor health during his incarceration. His defense team indicated he was open to a guilty plea in exchange for a sentence that did not exceed time already served. No deal was reached. Opening statements begin Tuesday, April 22nd. The trial is expected to last up to 4 weeks. We will be here every step of the way. And now for our case updates. The case of David Celeste Rivas Hernandez. It has been 2 days since singer David was arrested in Los Angeles on suspicion of murder. The case involves 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose severely decomposed remains were found inside the front trunk of an impounded Tesla registered to the singer in September 2025. Her legal name is David Anthony Burke. He is 21 years old. As of today, no formal charges have been filed. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office is expected to announce its charging decision on Monday. Burke has been held without bail since his arrest Thursday. His legal team released a statement saying the actual evidence in this case will show that David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez. They say he was not the cause of her death. Celeste had been reported missing multiple times in the year before her death. She last contacted her family in May 2024. She was from Lake Elsinore, California. We are expecting that charging decision Monday. We will bring it to you. The Tracey Grist family trap murder trial. The murder trial of Tracey Grist is now in its 3rd week in American Fork, Utah. Grist, 60, is charged with masterminding the 2022 murder of her son-in-law Matthew Ristelli. He was shot 7 times inside her home. Her son Kevin Ellis was already convicted of firing the shots. Her daughter Catherine Ristelli pleaded guilty to her role in the killing. This week, Catherine took the stand in her mother's trial. She testified that the idea to kill Matthew started as a joke. She said her mother told her, "I am doing it anyway." Jurors also watched body cam footage from the officer who responded to the scene the night of the shooting. Grist has pleaded not guilty. Her defense argues she was not the one who planned or carried out the killing. No verdict yet. We are watching. On the Tanner Horner Athena Strand. Sentencing. The sentencing jury in Wise County, Texas, is not expected back in the courtroom until Wednesday, April 22nd. The prosecution rested its case this week. The defense phase is set to begin next week. The jury is deciding between death and life in prison for Horner, who pleaded guilty to murdering 7-year-old Athena Strand in 2022. We are watching. In the Franklin Faircloth, Courtney Whitchger case, Faircloth remains held without bond in Sampson County, North Carolina. He is accused of breaking into his girlfriend's home and setting her on fire with gasoline. Courtney Whitchker, 36, suffered third-degree burns over 2/3 of her body. She was airlifted to a trauma center. Her family has asked for privacy as she recovers. No next court date has been announced. Going to check in on Joseph Duggar. The former reality television star faces a court appearance Monday, April 20th in Panama City Beach, Florida. Duggar is charged with lewd and lascivious molestation of a child. His attorney filed a waiver of personal appearance for this hearing. We will update you on what comes out of Monday's proceedings. And finally, the Deborah Kennedy cold case, Robert Covington case. Robert Covington, accused of the 1997 murder of his neighbor Deborah Kennedy in Southfield, Michigan, has a probable cause conference set for April 23rd. Covington was arrested after DNA from beneath the victim's fingernails matched his profile after nearly 3 decades. We will have an update after that hearing. In our deep look, in the case of Guy Rivera, Detective Jonathan Diller, a sentencing 9 days away. In 9 days, a courtroom in Queens, New York will hear from the family of Detective Jonathan Diller. Diller was 31 years old. He had served in the New York City Police Department for 2 years. On the night of March 25, 2024, he and his partner conducted a traffic stop on a car parked at a fire hydrant in the Far Rockaway neighborhood. Guy Rivera was in the back seat. As Diller leaned toward the driver's side window, Rivera shot him through the car door at close range. Diller was rushed to the hospital. He did not survive. He left behind his wife and a young son. Rivera, who had a lengthy prior criminal record, was arrested within hours of the shooting. At trial, prosecutors argued Rivera intended to kill. The jury returned a split verdict. They found Rivera guilty of aggravated manslaughter. They acquitted him of murder. The distinction carries weight. Under New York law, murder requires specific intent to cause death. Aggravated manslaughter means the jury found Rivera acted recklessly, in a way that created a grave risk to a police officer, but without the deliberate intent to kill. The verdict drew significant criticism from law enforcement groups, who argued the evidence showed Rivera knew exactly what he was doing. On April 27th, a judge will impose sentence. For aggravated manslaughter of a police officer, Rivera faces a maximum of 25 years in state prison. The prosecution is seeking that maximum. Rivera's attorneys have argued for a lesser sentence. The Diller family is expected to address the court. For a department that has spent years grappling with officer safety during routine stops, this case has become a landmark reference point. The sentence handed down next week will be watched closely by law enforcement and survivors of police violence alike. Before we leave you, here is what we are watching in the days ahead. Monday, April 20th. Joseph Duggar is due in court in Florida. His attorney waived his personal appearance, but the hearing moves forward. Wednesday, April 22nd brings 2 significant dates at once. The Tanner Horner sentencing jury returns in Texas, and Harvey Weinstein's 3rd trial begins in earnest with opening statements in Manhattan. And on April 27th, Guy Rivera stands before a judge in Queens. A family will speak. A sentence will be handed down. We will be here for all of it. That's your True Crime Today. I'm Morgan Voss. Stay informed, stay safe.